Merry Meet, Annie here. I am totally inspired to do this video by Ms. Abramelin Witch. Becca, I loved your video where you explained to us how you cast a circle. And I am hoping that catches on and all of us who share time here, as we are comfortable, share with each other by speaking and explaining or by doing how we cast our circle. I think a lot of us are called to share a bit of what we do. And certainly if we're in a group like I am in, I would never consider sharing anything that my coven does. But as a solitary, I am really about seeing what others are doing and learning how they're doing things on their own and sharing how I do things on my own, because I always do rites on my own in addition to the rites that are part of my coven's practice. The idea that we can find out by sharing this what we have in common, learn from each other, see the differences, be inspired by another's creativity and imagination and what they do. It's a beautiful part of what we are. So those of us who already have a set way we do things can take inspiration from what we see that others do. Those of us who do not, who are learning, it's a buffet that you can look at and pick what you like and what you don't like. How formal do you want to be? What do you want to do? And of course, importantly, why would you want to do it? What does it mean to you when you do it? I'm very moved at the possibility of sharing what we do. So Becca, you inspired me, and I hope that there's a lot of take-up on your video from those who are comfortable sharing. I think your way of talking about it bit by bit brings a comfort level to it, because most of us wouldn't just sit down and show the flow of a rite. Even if it were not an actual rite we're doing, we don't feel quite comfortable doing that. Sharing these bits and pieces, though, is a wonderful way to share more about ourselves. For instance, I know that you and I do a lot of things alike, but I found out when you did your video, there's one thing that we do very differently. I cast all my circles and take my circles back diasul. I do cast widdershins at the dark moon, in which case I cast and take back widdershins. But your technique is casting diasul and taking back widdershins. I do both the cast and the return diasul, sunwise, clockwise to those of us in the States. So even though I know we have a lot in common, there's going to be a lot of things that we do differently. And I'm going to guess, because you are a witch who tries and experiments and decide what resonates for you, that you have tried different things, and what you have settled on is representative of the power and the flow and how it felt right to you. So I encourage all of us who've been doing things a certain way for a long time to think about the power of seeing what another does, learning about them, being open-minded to someone else's experience, and maybe we'll see something we want to try. And for those of you who are new, the more we can share with you about the different way we all do things, your power to decide what it is for you increases. You can explore, try new things, try them on for size, see what you like, see what you don't like. I think very, very powerful way we can share when it comes to what we do, when it comes to our rituals. The cast, to me, begins offering the elements to the quarters. When I was coming up, a man and a woman would take, usually the knight and the maid to the circle, would take the water and the salt, representing water and earth, and offer it in turn to each of the quarters. Then they would take up the fire and the incense and do the same thing. So as a solitary, when I'm practicing it on my own, I thought I'll try doing the same thing, and it felt awkward. Traipsing around offering the water and the salt, and then traipsing around and offering the fire and the incense. It just didn't feel right. So here's my solution. We all find new things to play with. I found this in a gift shop. It is meant to hold 4 votive candles, but for me, it holds all of the symbols of my elements. So when I show it to you the next time, you will immediately recognize that it has incense, it has fire, it has water, and it has salt. As I begin to cast my circle, I begin by making an offering of that to the 4 quarters, all of them at one time around my circle. I cleanse you, creature of water, that your energy will serve the power of this rite. I cleanse you, creature of earth, that your energy will serve the power of this rite. I bless you, creature of air, that you will lend your energy to the power of this rite. I bless you, creature of fire, that you will lend your energy to the power of this rite. Holy and sacred, this offering is made, cleansing this place and banishing all which is unwelcome here. Three times round I call upon the power of the elements. Holy and sacred, this offering is made, blessing this place and declaring it a time and a place set aside. Three times round I call upon the power of the elements. 3 times round. I call upon the power of the elements. I conjure you, O circle of the night, that you will hold the power of my right. World between world, time outside of time. As above, so below, as the universe, the soul, as within, so without. On this night do I dedicate to the Ancient Ones my body, my mind, and my spirit. I wish you mirth and reverence, merry part,